Joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, former ECU head basketball coach. He knows a little bit about everything. Mack McCarthy joining us. Coach Mack, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, I get exposed every week on this show, knowing nothing. Unfortunately,
Well,
especially about NASCAR. Holy cow!
yeah, you're an expert on a lot of things. NASCAR, not one of them, or at least picking drivers preseason. We'll get to that in a moment. I had a bit of a realization today, Coach Mack. I am very excited about Hurricanes playoff round two hockey, which starts tonight against the Washington Capitals. And I was trying to think when was I last this genuinely excited about a sporting event, and I went back to ECU conference tournament basketball. Pirates won one game, lost in the second game, and of course my Commanders run in the
Yeah,
playoffs was I was
yeah,
at a fever pitch.
yeah.
But I think I'm postseason guy. The only regular season games I care about occur in college football and the NFL, and this whole regular season and basketball and hockey and everything else, baseball is just a waste of time.
I've got lots of questions about that statement. Now,
All right.
how much does wagering have to do with your excitement?
I mean, in this case, none, as John
In
Gilbert would
in
say.
general, in general.
Well, I can get excited about any game if I put $20 on them. So, to
Okay.
your point, I could make any game exciting. True. This is a genuine, like, fandom excitement.
Okay. So even if you weren't betting, you'd be excited about these games.
Oh, 100%. Commanders, absolutely. East Carolina basketball, postseason, absolutely. Canes, in this case, yeah, same thing. This is like real, actual, take the money away fandom stuff going
Okay.
on.
Are you excited about the Canes because they're good, or are you excited about the Canes because you like hockey, or a both, or both?
I'm excited because the team from North Carolina is good and has a chance to win the Stanley Cup, and I enjoy watching playoff hockey. I do. I do like the hockey. I watched the other night when Winnipeg scored a goal with under 2 seconds left to tie it up and send it to overtime. So there is something about playoff hockey, and I hear like playoff hockey is so much better than playoff basketball. When there's a combined score in playoff hockey of three or four, every game is going to be pretty close. When there's a combined score of 230 in the NBA, we could get some blowouts here or there. So it's a lot different. But no, Mac, the Canes are good. Um, it's cool that a team I somewhat root for and somewhat bandwagon for come postseason time is in the playoffs, and so a lot of those reasons.
How many regular season games have you been to?
Two,
And how many regular season games did you watch?
two. um,
Oh, wow.
No, I don't know. Like none start to finish. I can answer that, but like we've had them on here and there, and I follow the scores, keep up with the standings. But no, I don't watch. Again, that goes back to my postseason thing. Like outside of college football and NFL, I don't care about regular season games. I'm learning.
What about NASCAR? Same?
Honestly, Mac, I don't care about that at all. I hate to
Okay.
say it.
Even though you have a financial stake in that.
Yeah, but it just comes down to me checking scores and stats and the outcome, basically, whatever you want to call it, the leaderboard.
But
Uh,
you do bet on an individual race though, right? You've
eh,
asked me who's
every
going to
now and
win.
then, and this past week I put $7 on Ryan Blaney, finished third.
Yeah.
So, but not week to week, not every week, but I did this past week, and I have a few times. And one time I showed you a receipt that I won on a
Yeah.
guy that you picked. So yeah,
But the postseason thing is interesting because that's the only time that I watch the pro sports at all, and even then, it's fairly minimal. But even like golf and tennis, I don't pay much attention to the regular season, but I do pay attention to the majors in golf and the majors in tennis also. I'm starting to learn who is in the NBA playoffs. But I don't watch. I haven't watched one single hockey game. I'm not sure when the last time I watched.
When you
I
went
don't
to
know if
that
I've ever watched a
semi-pro
whole
game
game.
at the Scope,
I did watch some minor league hockey in
yeah,
college, and
there you
that
go.
was fun. Yeah, in the Salem Civic Center in Salem, Virginia. Yeah,
All right, so Mac saw a hockey game 40 years ago that
yeah.
he enjoyed. Mac, does it irk you as a former college basketball head coach? And this is not a hot take or like a new statement brought up by me. There's a lot of people that say the regular season doesn't matter, and that is that is not a true statement, but it is not as important as say college football, obviously, where you have 12 games. If you got 40 games, but does that upset you if when you hear that the regular season doesn't matter that much in college basketball as a guy who lived it and that was your job?
No, although from a coaching perspective, you look at it totally differently.
Yeah,
But I'm much more proud of 9 regular season championships than I am of 5 tournament championships.
good point.
Even though the fans only remember the tournament championships, I remember the others pretty vividly because that's how I graded myself, is how we were doing consistently over the course of the season, not just in a 3, 4, 5 day window in March.
Very good point, and we maybe we're brainwashed by the format of how we determine who goes to the tournament, and we've talked about that for these teams in these one big leagues. There should be some kind of higher weight put on a team dominating the regular season conference play, and whether you do an auto bid that way or just put them in the title game or something like maybe there should be more weight put on that.
Yeah, they certainly should have an advantage if there's going to be a tournament. I would not be opposed to it all if I was the commissioner of a mid or low major one bid league kind of team. I would be for the regular season champion being the representative. And it's not like the Ohio Valley Conference or the Big South tournament is making a bunch of money. They're not getting
Yeah,
television money. They're not getting a bunch of fans. I don't understand that part of it. You want to send your best representative. Now, you can make the case that injuries occur or a team that gets hot and is playing well going into the tournament is your best representative. But I'm not sure I buy that. Year in and year out, the regular season champion probably gives you the best chance to win. And because of the money that's at stake, if they can get in the tournament and win, then I think it's worth sending your best representative every single time. But
yeah.
I can go on and on about that one, but I think I think we do need to look at postseason. I think the championship in college football is kind of meaningless too, and we've seen that play out both positively and negatively, depending on who wins.
Which is why I put a premium on regular season college football. I like the week one showdowns and week two more than the bowl season where we see the big non conference matchups. Those week one games in Atlanta or Jerry World or wherever, those are way more intriguing than what we see postseason in college football. Did you have anything, Mac, before I move on?
Yeah, I mean, the bowl season has gotten to be really pretty meaningless, except for the teams that are involved in it. It means a lot to those teams. Look at what East Carolina's game
Right.
last year meant to them against NC State. But to the general public, that's the argument with the general public in college basketball. The folks that aren't regular viewers of college basketball, it is down to the postseason. That's what they do care about. But to real college basketball fans, you do care about the regular season and the football thing. You mentioned it. The regular season games are much more meaningful than the bowls. Now, yeah, that you got to take that back when you start talking about the playoff, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Mac, where are we on expanding the college basketball tournament? It seems like that comes up 2 or 3 times every year. Are we like anywhere close to doing that, or are we going to stick to where we are?
I think we are close to doing it, and I don't think it's going to be a big jump. I think it'll be into the 70s or something like that. I don't think it'll go into the 80s or 90s or even more, but I do think it's going to happen. And my biggest fear is that it's going to be more mediocre teams from the
Right.
Power Four conferences, and that's not what it's supposedly designed for. But I think that'll happen. I think it's going to happen. I think we haven't talked about it because of all the other litigation, if you will,
I
both
know.
from the legal standpoint with the House, the NCAA, the NIL, the portal, plus straightening out the football playoff. And of course, this is the end of that contract. So something new will be coming down the pipe. And I sort of hope they change this year. And I'm not sure they're going to now. At one time, I thought they would definitely change the seating for this year,
Uh-huh.
but we're kind of getting late in the year for that to happen. So they may go with just how they did it last year for another season, which I really am not in favor of, but I'll still be watching like you will.
Yes, sir. I will be. Oh, one thing I did want to hit on. You mentioned mid major, low major. I hate that terminology, not because I think it's demeaning, but
Yeah.
how can something be a low major? At what point does a major, if it's low, turn into a different word?
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't think anybody admits to being a low major. Everybody's a mid major.
Everybody's a mid major. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's a mid major except to sometimes the writers will get you, but nobody looks at their league and say we're a mid major league. I mean, we're a low major league. We're all at least mid major, I'm sure.
Mid major is the floor, high major the ceiling.
Exactly. That's it. That's
Mack
it.
McCarthy joining us. Mac, man, I just avoid all the money and NCAA conversations for the most part. But as far as the schools paying the players, and you'll still have NIL, but I guess you'll have these players, basically being paid from the schools like they're at a pro franchise. Where are we on that part of it right now? Is that coming here soon?
That's happening, and
Yeah.
it'll happen this year. I'm pretty sure the famous House settlement is coming up, could be as early as this week. The judge sent the lawyers back to say, listen, I'm not happy with how you're treating the squad limits. That was the only thing that was holding things up. And I think tomorrow is the deadline for them to submit a plan for that. Apparently, they were going to go ahead with the squad limits immediately, and everything was going to be in effect for this season. And she said, no, we can't do that to a whole group of people that will be impacted, and then we'll have more lawsuits. We've got to find some way to grandfather in for this season or some compromise. And they're supposed to submit their plan. They are optimistic that their plan will be passed, and if it is, then she's going to go forward with the revenue sharing part of it. And I think we will see that this season.
Matt, some of you, part of you, has to miss the locker room and the celebrations and all the great things about being a college coach. But when we get more and more into this part of it and the money and having to re-recruit your guys every year and beg them to stay and talk to your NIL collective, like, does it make you miss it a little less?
Yeah, a little bit, but the big part of me that struggles with what's going on now is that college was such a big deal to me, and to a whole bunch of generations of folks that went to school and have that allegiance to that school, and so much of what I've been able to do or become has been because of the school that I went to. And I know so many people feel that way about ECU or Carolina or whatever school you want to talk about. And I don't know that this generation of folks is going to have that feeling, and
No.
that's been a big part of my life, and where I chose to go to school, where I did go to school, and I know so many of our listeners feel the same way. And maybe you didn't even go to the school. Maybe you grew up there. You wanted to go to school, but circumstances prevented you from going to school, but you became attached to that school. But I don't know that this generation, when you've been to 4 schools or 5 schools or 3 schools, whatever, I don't know that you're going to have that same attachment, and those same memories, and those same allegiances that you had with the folks that I'm in touch on a daily basis with people that I went to school with, whether it be high school, and certainly who I went to school with in college.
Very well said. And on the kind of flip side of that, we can't even really hate anybody. Like, we can hate you, Matt, because you went to Virginia Tech. Like, we're not even gonna be able to hate anybody anymore because they're gonna go to Virginia Tech and then go to somewhere cool like Gonzaga or something. So it all stinks. But no, that was very well said. And the fact that you have those genuine feelings, I think, makes it even more impressive that. Not that you like where it is, but you understand where it is, and you're able to adjust and kind of evolve and accept that, maybe not accept, but understand that, like, it's different than it was, and you can somehow still enjoy it to a degree. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
trying to
and
give you a compliment in some way.
well, yeah, that would be a first, but we could go ahead and establish a precedent here. But yeah, to your point, it's got to be hard on fans, who
Absolutely,
you know who
absolutely.
who that's part of their blood, and people leave and you get mad at them. Well, you really shouldn't be mad at them. They're trying to be in the best situation for themselves. It's not a matter of loyalty, in my opinion. Yeah, there is some loyalty to the almighty dollar, I guess, but they're trying to do what's best for them and their career and their life, going forward. And the same thing for young people, men and women that transfer to your school. You don't think of that part of it. You think, well, they're coming here because it's ECU. Well, there are other schools out there too, and yeah, it's got to be hard for the fans. But on one hand, you find out who really is loyal to the brand, not
Well,
not to
yeah,
the people involved.
yeah, and I hate it, but it makes us appreciate Rajay Harris, R.J. Felton even more.
Yeah,
Like that,
yeah,
30, 40 years ago, that's the norm, and we just say, all right, they're just another guy. But now it is so odd to see a guy stick it out that we praise them for it, and we should, and it's good. And also, I agree with you about getting mad at guys. I don't. I'll never get that. I mean,
yeah.
you got to do what's best for you, and whether you're making a good decision or not, that it's their decision. And I don't want to control anybody's decision. It's kind of a true don't hate the player, hate the game,
Exactly.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, don't hate me because I'm on top of the NASCAR standings. Jarrett, let's get an update. We'll welcome
Yeah.
in J-Bone. What's up, Jarrett?
What's up? Yeah, my reign at the top was very short lived. Clips back up, 18 points. I have 13. Mac delves further into the negatives.
Into the abyss.
Wow. Wow.
But yeah, Joey Logano with the win. Clips got him on his team. Clip had the best average, and all three of us had DNFs. I had 2 with Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin. Mac had 1. Clip, you had 1.
Jarrett, you said yesterday you were, and I don't hear this a lot from you. You said you were kind of sad for Ryan Blaney. You felt bad for him.
Yeah.
What did
well,
he say post race that made you feel that way?
Well, you got Regan Smith going up for the post-race interview like immediately afterwards, and he's like, "Oh, Ryan Blaney, you got to be happy. Another top 3 finish." And he's just like, "Yeah, we should have won that." I mean, I guess it's never just going to go my way. We'll see. It's all my fault. I
Mac,
hate myself.
Is he throwing in the towel? What's
No,
going on?
no. As a matter of fact, tell me who is on my team, because I'm totally confused at this point.
Mac, you have Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher, and Ty Gibbs.
See, I don't hate that team, but,
Well.
You
but
should.
apparently I should hate that team.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Mac's not blaming himself. He put together a fine team.
Yeah,
It's
they're
those
just
guys that are screwing it up.
not racing well.
And by the way, that's a gambling thing too, Mac. I've never made a bad bet. It's those guys I bet on that just didn't come through for me.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
I've heard that somewhere before, but yeah. Where are we at this week, Jarrett?
Kansas, one more race, and then off to is the All-Star race in North Wilkesboro this year?
All-Star race and then Charlotte. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, 11 weeks in, but it's still a long season.
Yeah, it can flip quick. So
Yeah, my 4 in a row didn't come to fruition, but I'm still a believer.
yeah,
You should, I mean, Ryan Blaney's got to get it at some point. Chase Elliott's going to be running good.
I feel like as Chase
Elliott, just to interject, Chase Elliott ran 16th all 400 laps the other day. I don't know how he did it, but he ran 16th
Impressive.
every single lap.
You gotta like consistency. I feel like has he not been good/great since he won the championship? Like, I feel like he hadn't been in the winner's circle enough.
He was hurt, but he hadn't won enough. But I mean, they're still running pretty good. But he didn't run good. He didn't run good at Texas. That's for sure.
What's really upsetting to me has been Brad Keselowski this season. I thought that'd be an under the radar pick for me, but he's just ended up dead last every single race. And this week he was running pretty good. He was in the top 10, and then just bang out of it.
Yeah, he's too old.
Yeah.
Man, that makes me feel old that he's too old. I remember when he won his championship and was drinking out of that giant crevasse, and he looked like a little kid drinking a beer for the first time. That's been like over 10 years ago, I guess.
All the guys I grew up on are now fading away. Like Kyle Busch finishing 20th, it seems like every race. Brad Keselowski dead last. Seems like the only guy who's remained great is Denny.
Yeah. Well, all right, Maxter. Looking forward to you sending me more Antonio Brown tweets.
I keep sending you good stuff, but I don't get much response. So maybe I'll stop. Maybe I'll take you off my list.
No, keep me on the list.
You send him a cracker of the day. Like, what do you expect?
I had to talk about that one on the show. Coach Mack sending me cracker of the day tweets. Coach Mack, you would be my cracker of the day if I was to give out that award. I just want to let
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mac, good stuff. Anything new on the tube y'all are watching this week?
Oh gosh, we've watched some good stuff. I don't know if we've mentioned Mobland was pretty good.
See, I was waiting for some episodes to go, and then I might try to binge that one. So I do plan on starting that one.
The Harlem deal with Forrest Whitaker is in season 4 and pretty darn good. And if you want to just laugh, one that was a remake of a movie, but again, you just got to be in the mood to laugh, was as a thing called Four Seasons, which was originally an Alan Alda deal.
I saw that. Who's in that, Mac?
A bunch of famous people.
Yeah, I saw that Netflix.
Will Forte, I think, is in it.
Okay.
Former SNL guy.
All right, maybe I'll check that out. All right, Maxter, enjoyed it, man. Have a good week, and
thank you, guys.
We'll reconvene next week.
I look forward to it. Thank y'all.